I'm here to build my younger brother. Happy with good luck,
proper funding, training,
and cooperation.
defeat happy
states. People get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, spread disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous. Whether you do it for fun or for political gains, real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it. This is a public service announcement.
Nta Abeokuta ra síwájú dédé wọn. Nta Abeokuta àwàrè lókè o. Fún ìròyìn àsìkò rẹ̀ pérégedé, kápolówó ọjà kájọ wọ̀gbà. Ìgbélárugẹ àwọn ètò wọn ẹ̀kọ́ wọlé fùnà. Aré ìdárayá, ètò ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́, rẹ́ẹ̀nẹ̀gbẹ́, dédé wèrè mẹ́nìjáwọ́ olúborí. Ẹ̀wọ̀n ará Ìjẹ̀bú, ẹ̀wọ̀n ará Rẹ́mọ, ẹ̀wọ̀n ará Ìjẹ̀bú-Gbó, ẹ̀wọ̀n ará Ìjẹ̀bú-Òde, ẹ̀wọ̀n ará Òmù-Ìjẹ̀bú, ẹ̀wọ̀n ará Ìjẹ̀bú-Ifẹ̀, ẹ̀wọ̀n ará Ṣàgámù, ẹ̀wọ̀n ará Ìlàrá, ẹ̀wọ̀n ará Àgọ́ Ìwòye àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ẹ jẹ́ mọ̀ bọ̀ ní Nta Abeokuta fún àjọṣepọ̀ rẹ̀ ìdánmọ́ràn. NTA Channel 12 ní Abeokuta, Channel 103 rà wà lórí StarTimes. Nta Abeokuta dídíra àdúró bí Olúmọ.
On the news tonight, Nigeria-Ethiopia strengthen diplomatic ties as President Buhari pays state visit to Ethiopia. Mines and Steel Minister seeks stakeholders' cooperation in economic diversification, plus special assignment, correspondent beam satellite on traffic weather. Hello there, thanks for joining us. My name is Elizabeth Nduga. Good evening. And now to details of the news. The wide-ranging partnership between Nigeria and Ethiopia has gained momentum and vigor as the two countries energize further to the mechanism of cooperation with the signing of 2 bilateral agreements on defense and diplomacy. This formed the highlights of the high-level talks between President Muhammadu Buhari and Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Abiy Ahmed, in Addis Ababa. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu has details.
It was a highly befitting welcome for President Muhammadu Buhari as he arrived the Grand Palace, Ethiopian seat of state, for over a century on a state visit, the first since coming to power. Nigeria and Ethiopia have long-standing and robust bilateral relations spanning decades, but the leadership of the two most populous countries in Africa believe that opportunities abound for expansion towards enhancing mutual progress and prosperity. And this informed the high-level engagement between President Muhammadu Buhari and Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed.
They have a vision of a more self-reliant Africa, where we will increase trade amongst ourselves, And, interestingly enough, he believes that we should be investing in each other's, not only countries, but institutions. So, the Ethiopian president is saying, Nigeria can invest in Ethiopian Airlines and own parts of Ethiopian Airlines. He would also like to see, of course, Ethiopian Airlines having access to other Nigerian destinations. He wants to encourage Nigerian investors to come into Ethiopia. And, of course, he has, he spoke very highly of Dangote cement industries and others. He wants to see more. And he wants it to be a deep partnership, between the two countries. I think it was very, very clear that Nigeria and Nigerians can gain a lot in investing in Ethiopia. Ethiopia is one of the fastest growing economies in the world at the moment, over a double digit, over 10% a year. And so there's real scope, for Nigerian cooperation.
Prime Minister Ahmed emphasized a great respect and affection for President Muhammadu Buhari, saying he is keen to learn from Nigeria ways and means of addressing similar security, economic and governance challenges that they have.
Mr. President, spoke to him, about what his experiences, what we're experiencing as a country, and encouraged him to keep on the path that he has set for himself and his country, and assured him of Nigeria's full support and full commitment also to greater, economic integration amongst our people. They have huge challenges with corruption and also the capital flight, a lot of resources trapped in foreign countries. And so they're also keen to learn from Nigeria how we have gone about repatriating a lot of the funds that have been stolen, because they have the same challenges too. And of course, Mr. President said that we're willing to share experiences.
He wants to emulate from Nigeria how the president has gone about his war on anti-corruption. Whereas the people of Ethiopia have embraced the fight, and it's not a popular policy, Nigerians are still fighting the fight. And once corruption is not removed, there will be no development. The economy will not grow. The citizenry will also not grow. So there is need now for us to change our national attitude to governance, our national attitude as citizens, and then embrace the good policies of the president, and then join this war against corruption.
As a fallout from the talks, 2 landmark agreements on defense cooperation as well as visa waiver for diplomatic and official passport holders were signed between the two countries.
On defense cooperation, the two countries need to counter terrorism and promote closer collaboration in security areas. So the signing of that agreement is a step forward for our two countries to move forward. The second one has to do with exemption of visas to ensure that we create people-to-people contacts and then move forward our interests in the official political cooperation.
Apart from being Africa's leading countries, demographically, Nigeria and Ethiopia are both multi-ethnic and multi-religious countries, amongst other commonalities. From Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, stakeholders in the mining sector of the nation's economy have been told to key into the economic diversification agenda of President Muhammadu Buhari aimed at creating more jobs to alleviate poverty among Nigerians. Minister of State for Mines and Steel Development Samson Uchechukwu Oga said while engaging stakeholders in Abeokuta, Ogun State capital. The minister, who was on an inspection tour of mining sites in the state, also paid a visit to the state governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, where he discussed exploration of mining opportunities and potentials in the state. Details of this in a subsequent bulletin. It is not often that stories of diligence at work is told, especially where the person involved is a junior level officer who can barely speak for himself. This story is about Tunde Ogunbanyo, the traffic warder at Oluwo Junction in Abeokuta, Ogun State capital. Adeni Taiwo, who has been a keen observer of his activities, is standing by to tell us the story.
State corridors in Olukolongo area of Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. It takes less than a moment for traffic to build up here.
This junction is always busy because of those people who are working in Lokimoso. They prefer to pass through this place so that they can link to DRA.
In the last 5 years, unlocking this complex maze of traffic is what Chief Road Traffic Assistant Tunde Ogunbanyo daily wakes up to in order to ensure free flow of vehicular movement along the corridor. His day on the beat starts as early as 6:30 in the morning. His body parts, shifting gears, and other non-verbal cues are his tools as he directs traffic and clear orders building up on the road.
I'm here to control the traffic, to let the traffic control to be flow and free, and clear the obstruction on the road. If there's any accident, I should clear it and let the road to be free.
Tunde is an object of fascination for grateful road users, including Ismail Yusuf, who rewards his diligence with a thank you every now and then.
If I pass, sometimes I do have to say, well done, sir. Not of giving money, no. Just to say, well done, sir, you are really trying. I do appreciate, because the turning there is very risky. If the officer is not there to control the traffic, accidents can even happen or occur anytime.
This is that always be here around 6:30, and before he can free to have time for himself, it will be going to around 10. Doing good job every day. Only Sunday is free.
Said to be honest and professional, Tunde told this reporter that apart from his training and passion for the job, he has the acknowledgement of members of the public to thank for his diligence.
It's not because of the money. That's the reason why I'm controlling the traffic. What I'm enjoying is that for them to greet him, well done. It's so well done, keep it up.
NTA's check on today's record at the State Command Headquarters of Trace indicates that he has worked with 3 commanders, all with good record.
Even those within and around that axis have always been clamoring that we should retain him because he's doing what I'll call a yeoman's job.
His diligence has not also gone unnoticed by his office.
Although he's not an officer yet, but I know that with this commendation coming from the people and the NTA, is going to be given a letter of commendation, which is equally going to add to his CV for the next promotion that will be coming up anytime from now.
His hands are still dancing, traffic still flowing, and like the military parlance says, area is calm. In Abeokuta, I didn't tell you.
Thank you for staying with us. The news continues after this time out. Don't go away. Thank you for staying with us. The upward review of corps members' monthly allowance to Over 30,000 naira has been applauded. A cross-section of core members told Nta Abeokuta in Abeokuta that the increment will go a long way in enhancing savings and investment among benefiting core members.
That 3,000 naira that the federal government gave us is really very, very good. And we am able to utilize that money because out of the 3,000 naira, I'm able to spend little out of it and still save the remaining part of it. The motive behind the implement of Alawi is a great one. And I'll say it has helped most coppers save more, spend less. Then places where the PPA is not paying them, I think it has covered that aspect too. So I'll say it's actually very good.
The difference between 98 and the 33,000 is about 10,200, and it's a plus, in the next sense, because when we were collecting 19.8, there were things that we wanted to do, but we were limited because of the cash at hand and all that. The extra 10,200, we can be able to save more and able to do some other things we are doing. Some people go to do some professional courses, where they are allowed to pay instrumentally. So there's a way you can actually do so be able to complete those programs. Also do some other things, important things with money.
There are so many advantages to the 33,000. But based on markets, there is one thing that is common in this country. When federal government increases the minimum wage, the traders in the market, they also feel like federal government has paid, so let us get our share from it. So actually, seeing core members now in their uniform, it can actually make them increase the prices of whatever they are selling. For example,
And now entertainment. The African Magic Viewers' Choice Awards has released a list of nominees for the year 2020. Hope Efevie brings us details.
On Nta Entertainment News for tonight, received AMVCA Awards, as released by the organizers, as announced via televised broadcast. 7 out of the 28 categories are open to public voting. Ramsinwa, Nkem Oro, and Remileko Safari, also known as Reminisce, got nominated as Best Supporting Actors for their roles in Living in Bondage, in God Calling, and King of Boys, respectively. Mary Lazarus role in Size 12, Tina and Bar in The Setup, and Tony Tones in King of Boys earned them a nomination as Best Supporting Actress, while Tony Abraham, Bimba Ademoye, Funke Akindele are all in line for nominations as Best Actress in Comedy. For nomination as Best Actor in Comedy, the list includes Uzo Arukwe, Chibunam Stanley, and Ramsinwa. Uzo Arukwe got nominated for his role in Size 12, while Chibunam Stanley's role in Smash and Ramsinwa's role in Merryman earned them their nomination. Kemi Adetiba with King of Boys, Dimeji Ajibola with Ranki, and Bibi Sosore with In God Calling are all in line as Best Directors. Other nominations are Ronke Odusora, Dewande Famakinwa, and Oyebade Adebimpe for awards in Best Indigenous Language. And that wraps up our report on Nta Entertainment News for tonight. I am Efevie Hope.
And on sports scene, the rank of Nigeria Super Eagles appears to be swelling, with many foreign-based talents deciding for the country. Let's now join Rashid Junaid for details.
Who previously played for Arsenal Football Club in England but now playing for the Panathinaikos in the Greek League, has announced himself to Super Eagles coach Gernot Rohr after scoring a brave in Panathinaikos 4-0 victory over OFI Crete FC in Greece Super League. Chuba, who showed his intention of playing for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, told newsmen that he will be very happy to represent Nigeria, while noting that he has done all the needful by submitting all documents for signing. He also said he was ready for the challenge of contesting for space with other talents. The 24-year-old forward was born in London and has represented England in all levels except English national team. His decision to play for Nigeria contrasts sharply with the indecision of the likes of Tammy Abraham and Fikayo Tomori of Chelsea Football Club, who have both pitched their tents with England. Akpom follows the path of Brian Idowu and Olaimo of Torino FC, who both boost the defense of the Super Eagles. In another development with sports updates, Sheikh Junaid, NTA News.
That report by Junaid concludes our package tonight. We thank you for staying with us. Do have a pleasant evening. Good night. Orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà àti orílẹ̀-èdè Ethiopia sọ àsọyépọ̀ fún ìtẹ̀síwájú ètò ọrọ̀ ajé. Alákòóso kejì fún ìwakùsà pè fún ìfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ lójúmọ́ àti wá ìyanjú sí ìpèníjà ètò ọrọ̀ ajé. Ẹ̀kálẹ́ ẹkú ṣáòní Olúwakẹ́mi Ọ̀rúnṣolú Síkírù ní orúkọ tèmi. Ìròyìn náà rèé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́. Ìbáṣepọ̀ tó dán mọ́rán tó wà láàrin orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà àti Ethiopia ti ń gbòòrò sí bí orílẹ̀-èdè méjèèjì ti ń tẹ̀síwájú láti ro ìbáṣepọ̀ wọn lágbára pẹ̀lú fífi ọwọ́ sí ìwé ìgbọ́ ara ẹni yé lórí ètò ààbò ìbáṣepọ̀ ilẹ̀ òkèèrè. Èyí wáyé láàrin aláṣẹ Muhammadu Buhari àti olórí orílẹ̀-èdè Ethiopia Abiy Ahmed nílùú Addis Ababa. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Adamu Sambo jábọ̀ ròyìn pé àsọyépọ̀ náà wà fún orílẹ̀-èdè méjèèjì láti ṣàmúlò àǹfààní tó sodo sí orílẹ̀-èdè wọn fún ìlọsíwájú. Wọ́n fi ké sí àwọn tí ọ̀rọ̀ kàn ní ẹ̀ka ìwakùsà nínú ètò ọrọ̀ ajé orílẹ̀-èdè yìí láti gbárùkù ti ètò ìjọba àpapọ̀ láti bójú wo àwọn ẹ̀ka mìíràn láti gbé ètò ọrọ̀ ajé orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà lárugẹ àti ojúnà àti láti fi òpin sí ìṣẹ́ òun òṣì lórílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Alákòóso kejì fún ẹ̀ka ìwakùsà àti ọ̀gbìn Samson Ushechukwu Ọ̀gá ló sọ èyí lásìkò àbẹ̀wò sí ìlú Abẹ́òkúta. Alákòóso náà ṣe àbẹ̀wò sí àwọn ààyè ìwakùsà nípínlẹ̀ Ògùn. Bákan náà ni gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn Ọmọọba Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Anthony Gandoni ló ní ìròyìn bọ̀. Ẹ ó máa gbọ́ ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ ìròyìn náà nínú ìròyìn wa tó ń bọ̀. Lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ ẹni láti mọ ẹni lọ́lẹ̀, àmọ́ kì í ṣe gbogbo ìgbà ni a máa ń gbọ́ ìròyìn nípa ènìyàn tó mú iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ lọ́kùnkúndùn, pàápàá jùlọ tí irúfẹ́ onítọ̀hún bá jẹ́ òṣìṣẹ́ tó kéré jù lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ ọba. Àkọsí ìròyìn yìí nípa arákùnrin kan tí orúkọ rẹ̀ ń jẹ́ Túndé Ògúnbáyọ̀ tó jẹ́ ẹ̀ṣọ́ adarí ọkọ̀ lójú òpópónà nílùú Abẹ́òkúta olúìlú ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Adéníyì Táíwò tí ó ti ń wo ìṣe arákùnrin ọ̀hún ló mú ìròyìn náà bọ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n tí ó ń bọ̀ síwájú sí.
Oníkólóbó nílùú Abẹ́òkúta jẹ́ àdúgbò tí súnkẹrẹ fàkẹrẹ ọkọ̀ máa ń sábà wáyé. Èyí máa ń wáyé ọ̀pọ̀ akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ àti àwọn oníṣòwò tí wọ́n wà ní òpópónà náà. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba, láti bí ọdún 5 ni òṣìṣẹ́ adarí ọkọ̀ Túndé Ògúnbáyọ̀ ti máa ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ láti aago 6 òwúrọ̀ láti ṣe àmójútó lílọ àti bíbọ̀ ọkọ̀. Ó máa ń lo àwọn ẹ̀yà ara rẹ̀ bíi ojú, ọwọ́ àti àwọn ohun mìíràn láti jẹ́ kí iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ yá, kí súnkẹrẹ fàkẹrẹ ọkọ̀ ba lè dínkù ní òpópónà náà. Àwọn ènìyàn bíi ọ̀gbẹ́ni Yusuf máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ọ̀gbẹ́ni Túndé fún iṣẹ́ takuntakun tí ó ń ṣe. Nínú ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀gbẹ́ni Túndé, yàtọ̀ sí pé ó jẹ́ akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́, ìmọrírì tí àwọn èèyàn máa ń fún gan túbọ̀ jẹ́ ohun tó ń ṣe kóríyá fún.
Kíkó and then ọ̀dẹ̀ tún máa ń jẹ́ kórí mi kó wú nígbàgbà tí n bá ń ṣiṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́ pé kúṣẹ́.
Pààrọ̀ báyìí, traffic ẹ máa ń pọ̀ gan but you always busy. Before kó tó lè ní pé òun ní chance láti lè jẹun, á sì tún bíi 9:30 to 10. because wọ́n máa ń tún bìsí tracy tí wọ́n pàṣẹ ní kólówó àbídíyànà olúwo fáàtì wọ́n try gan wọn pẹ́lọpẹ́ wọn lè jẹ́ kí ó dọ̀kun máa ṣẹlẹ̀ wọn lè jẹ́ kí azet máa ṣẹlẹ̀ wọ́n try gan gidi iṣẹ́ gidi ni wọ́n ń ṣe ọlọ́wọ́ bọ́lọ́jú ènì àárọ̀ ọ̀nà ní ọwọ́.
Ikọ̀ ìròyìn iléeṣẹ́ NTA ṣe àbẹ̀wò sí olú iléeṣẹ́ aláàbò Trace nílùú Abẹ́òkúta láti ṣe ìwádìí ọ̀gbẹ́ni Túndé Ògúnbáyọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ohun tí wọ́n sọ.
ọmọ kan tó ní akíkanjú tó dẹ̀ fi ara balẹ̀ tó jáfáfá tó dẹ̀ máa ń ṣiṣẹ́ bó ṣe yẹ kó ṣe kò yà mí lẹ́nu nígbà tí ẹ sọ pé ẹ fẹ́ wá láti wá bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ lórí akitiyan ẹ̀ láti rí pé kò sí súnkẹrẹ fàkẹrẹ níbi tó ń gbé sí tó ti ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní ọ̀nà Olúwo. Àwọn èèyàn gan tó wà ní agbègbè yẹn àwọn tó ń gbé agbègbè yẹn àwọn tó máa ń gbàbẹ̀ kọjá àwọn máa ń ṣe sàdánkátà lóòrèkóòrè ní ìgbàdégbà tó bá ti wà ń bẹ̀. Ìtòlẹ̀ ti wà ń bẹ̀ ń sìn a ti fẹ́ tó bí ọdún 3 àbí jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Nítòótọ́ téèyàn bá wà ní bit ìpele tó máa ti ní kó ti ṣiṣẹ́ wọn ò máa ń pẹ́ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ a máa ń gbé wọn kó bẹ́ẹ̀ àtúngbẹ́ lómi kó bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn tó ń gbé bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn àtàwọn tó ń gba bẹ́ẹ̀ ìgbà tó rí akitiyan ẹ̀ wọ́n tiẹ̀ ti wá wọn máa ń pè wá pé pé Túndé ó ń ṣe dáadáa o pé ká bá wọn fi síbẹ̀ o.
Iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ ń tẹ̀síwájú. Ọládàyọ̀ Ajígbógun ló ń jábọ̀ ìròyìn fún iléeṣẹ́ NTA Abẹ́òkúta.
Ìjọba àpapọ̀ fún bí ó ti ṣe àmúṣe ìlérí rẹ̀ láti ṣe àfikún owó oṣù àwọn àgùnbánirọ̀ kúrò ní 20,000 náírà dín ní 200 sí 3,730 náírà. Àwọn àgùnbánirọ̀ náà kò lè pa ìdùnnú wọn mọ́ra bí akọ̀ròyìn wa Fúnkẹ́ Adéyọ̀sóyè ti ṣe ìwádìí lọ́wọ́ wọn lórí ìgbésẹ̀ ọ̀hún. Wọ́n ní èyí yóò mú ìyàtọ̀ bá ìgbé ayé wọn lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n tí wọ́n sọ síwájú sí.
Inú mi dùn láti mọ̀ pé wọ́n ní ọ̀fẹ́ increase alárìbá for majority ló wà ògbà gbọ́ pé wọ́n máa ṣe lè ọtí kàtàrí aláàtòrí fún ìgbà tí oníkálukú jẹ́ inú everybody ó ń dùn pé wọ́n actually ní ìlérí ọ̀ṣọ́ sí ẹ̀ inú everybody dùn pẹ́. Nígbà tí a gbọ́ nínú ìròyìn pé ìjọba ti fi owó kún owó àwọn àgùnbánirọ̀ ó ṣe wá ní ìdùnnú pé àti rí ní àrídájú pé ìjọba ń ro títí àwa ọ̀dọ́ mọ́ ìlànà tí wọ́n ń ṣe.
tó ìròyìn wa fún ti àṣálẹ́ yìí kò ní jùbà lọ ẹ pàdé wa fákọ̀tì ìròyìn láṣálẹ́ ọ̀la láṣẹ Èdùmàrè ó dàárọ̀ ìròyìn lásán. Jai nile Clemson television ho Nta Abeokuta to mare to mi deje nínú tí wọ́n Anthony Gandoni wadopo ebisi to sese na ite Nigeria kodo Ethiopia to ko wenyi bibasi na domodo ye hin agayi pla oluhe yin adodo ajoho ton todo onu do fule ton ko to jijo to ayi ti an wele sese ehe we ni se do yiso basi na domodo ye basi oluhe yin jije to sese ayi ti an wele ton todo alo si do popo to hunu yi do alo owe de me to ayi ti an wele ton me dogbon òun èyí lọ́dọ̀ àlọ́ṣán tó sí òkú gbódó àyí tí à ń ganu sí òkú tán po ehèwẹ̀yìn òun èyí dọ̀hún gan tó kódọ̀ tó pọ̀ àtòdódé ìjọ tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ náà àyí tí ń gán Muhammadu Buhari gbódó àtọ́ ẹ̀tàn ẹnẹ Ethiopia tán po ẹnẹ Abiy Ahmed tán po tó Addis Ababa èyí tán nítàn Adamu Sambo wọ̀nyí dìgọ́ọ̀lù lọ́tàn wa náà nìyẹn. Gbẹ̀tọ́ èrò hódù tó
to ko no sena me kun si ala mele to ayi te me de we ayi na me ko ido na inu do ye godo po bo so hodo ayi te nga Muhammadu Buhari si nle na do modo emi ba si o heje do he agayi pra kwa obi ho me bo masa me kun si ala so edo he bi ba si we na so zombo ajo uwa todo so si temi ko ti klenado ti na gbetore todo onu de vole bi ko mo ko pelu go to awito na do ko nu sena meton si o ko do agayi hen pla agami ogami mo si o ko ene samson o ki chukwu oga we mi se do he to hunu do to hodo podo gbeto he o hobu to ara lo mele bi ko to Abeokuta ni yito mi ton we yi gigon lotun wa budo mo ko pelu go to lo mi se do so zin la kun season so ifide yi na ko do ko nu sena meton le ti to ayi matin me bo so zomo bo do mi kudo aisi ndo ayi matin ga ogun matin Nta Abeokuta to fide sodo ho pote dogbonde sin gamba si dogo na domodo ye kle azun iwa temena gbeto he yin dogo nu sena me kun tole to ayi matin me edo he bibasi na so zombo agayi na do pla o holo to ayi tin me blebu òun àtòdó tó ti fie tàbí òun ẹgbẹ̀tọ́ ṣoṣo délẹ̀ máa sọ́nù dọ́ tó ti fie nídọ̀ gbẹ̀tọ́ délẹ̀ tó àsán kànjí wà tó àsán ètò mẹ́ lọ́sùn fídé gbẹ̀tọ́ he ní àsán sí he ní òtẹ̀ pẹ̀lú mẹ́lẹ̀tì tó àsán tẹ̀ yé tán lẹ́mẹ̀ mi ń ṣèdọ̀ gbẹ̀tọ́ ṣoṣo ẹ̀mọ dọ̀ ó dógbọ̀n àsán dàgbé he yé tó wà tó àsán tẹ̀ yé tán lẹ́mẹ̀ ehe wẹ̀ ní òhó àsán sí yénẹ̀ túndé ògùn báyọ̀ tán he ní mẹ́nu dókọ̀ náà ògùn sí àsán sídé tó àlùyò pínpín olúwo tán etí tó Abẹ́òkúta fìlẹ́mẹ̀ fínẹ̀wẹ̀ ẹ̀mí tọ́bítàn èèkàn dé òun lọ́tọ̀ yìí dó tó àhàlà lọ́mẹ̀ dógbọ̀n dé tó yìí dójì èyí gígọ́lù lọ́tàn akódì ìlú èmísè tó yìí tọ́bítàn adé ní ìtaiwo sí ẹ̀dọ̀ gbẹ̀tọ́lẹ̀wẹ̀ mí sèdọ̀ yìí kò sọ̀tọ̀ pípọ́n àsán àdúdó dẹ̀pẹ̀ lọ́tọ̀ wùwà tó òhun yìí ẹ̀dọ̀ tó àsán wà tó fi lọ ẹ̀dọ̀ gbọ̀sàngbọ̀sàn dé pépé òde pépé nùdé yìí gbẹ́ òtò àlùlọ́jì gbọ̀n wọ èyí tó tó mímọ àsán dàgbé tí ń kọtùn dẹ̀pẹ̀ lọ́tọ̀ wùwà ẹ̀dọ̀ àsán he tó wùwà ẹ̀yìn àsán he dóhi àdọ̀ nígbó àsán pọ́nyán wa tọ́ ẹ̀ ẹ̀bù sọ́tọ̀ àsán wà náà gà yìí kó dó dàgbé àsán páìtàn tán pọ̀ tó mẹ́ẹ̀dọ̀ kó dó lè tọ́mítàn lẹ́kọ́ mẹ́ ẹ̀dọ̀ òde pépé nùdé yìí gbẹ̀bùn àlùlọ́jì bò tó yìí wúwo ẹ̀mí nù pọ́n dẹ̀pẹ̀ lọ kó sọ́nà pọ́n dé náà ẹ̀kan dó àsán jídó gbóná wà gànjí mọ́wọ́ ẹ̀mí sọ́nà dẹkùn nẹ́ẹ̀gà. Agayi kodo yidokwe yidogo osun kodo dudogo mesi okwe beto heyin meto igbasento ayite itonle so akwe naira foton donu owewe dopo nkoton do akwe naira foton donu gba nukun atan nkoton he ton de podu basito maden we mi sero yiko so dekun na yi to nutan Funke Adeoso eto Abeokuta file e kan ho bi o meyin joja meto igbasento le to ayi matin me file dogbon de ye mu akwe mu nkoton jiro ye so do ho dogbon akwe mu nkoton ji ye do akwe idogolo he ba si he don do podu ba si e ko so zombo agayi do pla akwe ze sedo emi ton podo ajo iwa si ho emi ton po to ayi tin me sile lo ma o gan to gbe mi ke mi so pe to ma o si comment to so jana na lo devo in do dagbe.